Now, Stargate, ironically, every season they assumed while they were on the air, they are going to get canned. You're like, this season is our last season. Every season's our last season. Except for that last one, which is the one time they didn't do that, and it turned out that that was the last season.
I wish more shows took that approach.
Mm-hmm.
There's always so many stakes that get set up that we don't ever get payoff for.
Yeah.
This is just my old man shaking fist at Cloud moment, but stop writing multi-series as self-contained things.
Or, I mean, we could take it the other way, too. Like, what about stop canceling series after one season?
Give it a chance to breathe.
Looking at you, streaming platform that begins with an N.
I'm definitely looking at you. And also Fox.
Well, we can say them then. Come on, Netflix, get your shit together.
Just a reminder, this is a spoiler-heavy podcast. Different series that require a spoiler warning will be in the description. Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Gaming Theater Podcast. Today's episode is going to be all about the bottle episode, explaining what a bottle episode is and how that kind of works out. So, we're going to keep going and moving on this one. So I have a few guests with me on this bottle episode. And over to my right is going to be...
Hi, I'm WG Ashwood. I'm your Fancy Focus charity host. I'm here to hit the bottle.
All right. And over to their right is going to be...
Hi, my name is Dane. I go by DandDaine on the internet. I am your friendly local GM, DMST on the internet and beyond. And I'm here to hit the Dougie.
All right. And over to their right is going to be...
Sup, I'm Spice. I do art things. I don't have a cool tagline. And someone should pass me a bottle.
A bottle episode doesn't always have a bottle, but it is a bonus if it has a bottle. All right. So with that being said, let's get on to the Magical Merch Booth. Here we are in the Magical Merch Booth, and we kindly have nothing. All right, moving on. See you in the episode. So here we are on today's episode, which is the bottle episode. So the bottle episode, and you'll understand why we kind of needed to move on and skip the Magical Merch Booth, because it fits the theme of the bottle episode. What a bottle episode is specifically a notion from TV. If you want the origins for it, nobody actually knows exactly where the origins of what a bottle episode is. They just know what it is. So the origins back in the day has to deal with two specific science fiction series, Star Trek and the Outer Limits, the original Outer Limits, now also the original Star Trek. So what happens is science fiction TV shows, especially in the early 60s, late 50s, were extremely expensive, mostly because of how TV works back then. So a lot of Westerns, what they would do, which were big back then, they would reuse the sets and reuse some of the equipment for it. So that's how Hollywood kept some of the costs down for that one. In fact, The Twilight Zone reused the same movie props from The Forbidden Planet over and over and over and over again for like all 5 of its seasons. So what they call the bottle episode is essentially an episode that is, in theory, all contained in a bottle. It is just a cost-saving method. So you would use as few actors as you need to the smallest amount of props and locations that you could use. Your whole goal is to make this episode as cheap as you can. And that way, you could save your budget making this episode and use it more on other episodes. And that's it. That's essentially a bottle episode. Although, weirdly enough, there is sort of a odd case for that. Typically, you get your best acting done and writing in a lot of those episodes, because a lot of those episodes, your actors have to be the main focus of this episode.
Now, is this your way of saying that our budget hasn't been approved and we need to scale back a little bit on the production costs?
Funny thing, I went the Stargate method, and no. So there's a few interesting examples about a bottle episode. Also, this is why there's a kind of a joke. If you can, make a bottle episode about a bottle, and then sometimes some people will call a bottle episode, well, an episode that is literally in a bottle. I think Teen Titans Go has an episode, their bottle episode, which is them stuck inside a bottle, which I thought was kind of funny. But no, this is Stargate's method, and it worked for like all 10 years of Stargate SG-1 and Atlantis, and I think they tried to do it all with SGU. Can't remember, that one didn't run as long. But what Stargate would do, they knew that they were going to be off air for the summer, so they wanted their first episode, their brand new episode to introduce the season, to be, if they needed it, they want the money to be bigger and better. Now, Stargate was, ironically, every season they assumed while they were on the air, they are going to get canned. You're like, this season is our last season. Every season's our last season. Except for that last one, which is the one time they didn't do that, and it turned out that that was the last season.
I wish more shows took that approach.
Mm-hmm.
There's always so many stakes that get set up that we don't ever get payoff for.
Yeah.
This is just my old man shaking fist at cloud moment, but stop writing multi-series as self-contained things.
Or, I mean, we could take it the other way, too. Like, what about stop canceling series after one season?
Give it a chance to breathe.
Looking at you, streaming platform that begins with an N.
I'm definitely looking at you. And also Fox.
Well, we can say them then. Come on, Netflix, get your shit together.
We're never getting that Netflix sponsorship now.
Damn it.
It's gone. Goodbye.
Ruined. We're ruined. Ruined.
Yeah. We'll save the budget. We don't need that. Anyway. No, so Stargate's method on this was at the beginning of the season, they would use some of their most budget there, so that way they can really get people interested. And they'll save as much budget as they can for their last episode of that season. So that way they can go out like a blockbuster, like a big bang if they needed to do that. But there's 2 episodes in the middle of that they purposely cut the budget for and turned them into bottle episodes. By the way, bottle episodes and clip episodes are not the same thing, but they have the same idea. Clip shows are done because that way we can use clips from older episodes. That way we can save the budget here. But a bottle episode is a new episode that we make things cheaper and such, just so that way we can save the budget here for that.
What about clips with narrative?
That still falls under a clip episode. Like, if you want the
Okay.
greatest clip episode ever, it's Avatar: The Last Airbender, when they go to that island to witness a play of everything catching up from the series.
The Fire Island players. Ember Island players.
Ember Island players. Delicious. That's the best clip show ever. Stargate has some really cool ones because they use that as usually a way of not trying to get the everyone to catch up, but there's usually something that they need old clips for to understand what's happening now. Like, there's one that I really like where the Stargate program is going to get canceled, but at this point in the series, they have to actually expose themselves to other parts of the world and let them know, hey, we've been sitting on this giant secret, but it's going to get bad, and so we're going to need your help. And so the clip episodes were actually Dossier's, one of these guys on there who wants the Stargate program to be closed down and change it to his program, which is the NID, and there's a whole backstory thing for it. By the way, the end of the clip episode ends with Thor showing up.
But not that Thor. A different
is that
Thor. I mean, is it though, Leo? Is it though?
Not that. It's not the Marvel Thor. No, he's a little smaller than that.
Yeah, he's also not strictly how you would imagine him from Norse mythology.
Although when they introduce Loki, he is hilarious.
That's very true.
As he should be.
But yeah, so they make these small clip shows and they do this bottle episode. Like, one of the cool bottle episodes in Stargate Atlantis was Rodney McKay. I forget the character's name, but I know the actress, which is Jill State. She plays the one of the doctors. And their boss, by Sam Carter at this point, who are all stuck inside this one room, and if they move too much, this room will fall apart. And so they're trying to keep their sanity by talking to each other and try to solve their way to get out of this mess. They weirdly play, I think, a game of Marry, Fuck, Kill at some point in that.
That sounds right.
I mean, I feel like you should always be ready to play that game.
Always be down.
Always be down.
But yeah, so like, There's one episode season they did a bunch of those clip shows, but or those smaller ones, and then I forget which season it is, but it ends with the Battle of Antarctica, which is a massive space battle on top of Antarctica. It is super cool. But yeah, so Stargate does that in a way to ease up the pressure on 2 episodes, so that way the rest of the series can benefit for it, and they could know that going in. Like the scriptwriter such as goes, this is our budget, and they cut and divide it up as they go, which is smart, so they don't accidentally over budget themselves. Another weird animated example is Family Guy has one. It's season 8, episode 17, called Brian and Stewie. It's Brian and Stewie locked in a vault.
Oh, I actually love that episode. That's a great episode.
Yeah, but it's essentially a bottle episode that's animated, which usually doesn't come up very often, but that's the case.
Could you say that the pudding episode from Cowboy Bebop is a bottle episode?
Most people
It's the one they're entirely on the ship the entire time.
Is that Flowers in the Attic?
Toys.
Toys in the Attic.
Toys in the Attic, yeah.
I would guess.
That's the what.
Not that Dane loves Cowboy Bebop or anything.
I never talk about it.
No, Toys in the Attic. Yeah, no, that's a bottle episode because everything's contained in the ship, and there's not a lot of like movement and such going around for it. But I've seen people quote that as Cowboy Bebop's bottle episode. But yeah, so that would count for it.
So I think I think one of the most famous Doctor Who episodes of the new generation of Doctor Who would actually qualify as a bottle episode. Don't Blink, the episode where they introduce the Weeping Angels.
Yeah, because the main characters aren't even there for most of the episode.
Right. The Doctor just shows up in a recording of himself reading off of a teleprompter. Mm-hmm. So that would have taken David Tennant all of like an hour to do. So you pay your big star an hour's worth of work, and then you get like some relatively unknown actors to act out the rest of the episode.
Yeah, and most of the episode takes place in like that same building.
Yeah, in a basement.
Yeah, no, that's a bottle episode, and that's a really, but like it's like the Don't Blink is the one that a lot of people use to just introduce new Who to people. But like, if you want this, here's how cool this can get, and it gets better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it all boils down to creative writing and creation of characters and that sort of thing, and is how successful your bottle episode can be.
Exactly. So one big example, which is like on paper, it's Breaking Bad has in season 3 they have an episode called The Fly. It is on paper. This is the description: Jesse Pinkman and Walter White try to catch a fly in their lab. The end. It's one of the best episodes of Breaking Bad. It's got superb acting. You can feel all this tension. But on paper, it sounds like the most boring thing you could do. What are we doing? These guys are just gonna catch a fly. That is it. And we are done.
Jesse, I'm the one who swats.
What's another one? Brooklyn Nine-Nine has a famous one, which is called The Box. It's just Adam Sandberg and Andre Braugher, and just the guy they're interrogating, and he needs to crack.
Tell me why.
Oh, because
cool
like
motive, still murder.
That is like my favorite. Wow, cool motive, still murder.
Still murder.
But like, spoiler on that one. What happens is that it's Jake Peralta, Andy Sandberg's character, figures out like the reason why they can't get him to confess to the crime because of any of their other tactics, but they get him to confess because they say, yeah, all these are weird coincidences that make you get away with it. And he's so egotistical, he needs people to know, yeah, I'm smart enough to do this. Here's how I did the crime. Here's how I got away with it. But yeah, it's basically 3 guys in a room the entire time.
It almost sounds like you're taking a big production, like a big fantastical thing, and giving it a slice of life episode somewhere in there.
Yeah, but the slice of life doesn't go very far. Like physically, doesn't go very far.
It's a very small
It's
life.
a small slice.
Just a crumpet of life.
You want that pie with a la mode slice of pie? No,
Nah,
just a tiny bit.
just a little bit of filling.
Now, in the movie scale, if you do it for film, it's not usually the same case because a lot of indie films will do like small productions that are just in a room. That doesn't mean that it's the same as a bottle episode, unless they literally use that for specific reasons for that. The best film example to that is 12 Angry Men, which is the original one, has some of the best actors of their time, and in order to get all their budget for these guys, the movie is just 12 jurors in a room. So that's just it. We don't have to do much filming and such. It's 12 guys in a room. But like if you do something similar, like The Cube, which is a bunch of guys in a room, that's still not a bottle episode because that's the point of the whole movie, is they're stuck in this cube and have to figure out their way around that. Which is why the bottle episode is typically reserved for television, because you have these long series, but you only have so much of a budget. You're saving the budget now instead of spending it out later for that one. Also, it doesn't count if you have to ruin another production for that. Famously, Mad Men, because it was so much more popular at the time than Walking Dead. Walking Dead had to cut down its budget. I think it's season 2 or 3. No, had to drastically shut down their budget for the majority of their season, so that way Mad Men can have get their budget made bigger, because they were having to do stuff in like Hawaii and doing on location settings, and they can get expensive. Which is why that's the season in Walking Dead where they're all in the next to the farm, and they spend a lot of time in that one farm.
Oh yeah, that was a really drawn out season.
Mm-hmm. Are we at the farm? Yep, still here, still doing this. The bottle episode is literally one episode that we save, that we cut the budget on for it. Like, ironically, if once this episode gets into video production, it's going to hopefully look like we also made this into a bottle episode.
So how much of the budget did we save by doing this episode?
A bit,
huh? Excellent.
$5.
Good.
That means we can do a massive season finale.
Checks in the mail.
Yeah. That totally works out.
So,
Yeah.
This is one I'm kind of waffling on because I haven't seen it in a long time. But you mentioned movies kind of having a bottle episode format.
They can, but you have to know going in that it is a bottle episode. So, like, 12 Angry Men, they had a pretty decent sized budget, but by making it the entirety of the film in one room, they used the budget to get higher skilled actors for that time. So they're manipulating it, which is why that makes it a bottle film that is also a bottle episode. But you have a bunch of indie, so like if somebody tried to remake 12 Angry Men today, you could use that same budget and make Sharknado. Kind of hilariously, though, Sharknado, budget-wise, Sharknado is made on a very particular budget, so that way, it's one of the reasons why they get so many guests and cameos to be in those movies, is because only be operating in film for so many days. So instead of spending months to do the shoot, they're going to spend weeks to get this done and use that budget and so a lot of people, this was the old, a lot of people would do cameos and things just so that way they could get a quick paycheck, but they don't have to dedicate their time. It's one of the reasons, like back in the day when Netflix was doing Marvel stuff, before they really screwed it up, a lot of like especially with like Jessica Jones, going back to David Tennant, he was the villain in that series. But the reason why he was the villain in that as the Purple Man is because he's like, I've got a pretty tight schedule. There's only so much stuff I can do. Wait, I can make time to go do this. So you would have higher profile actors because we only need like 10 episodes. And we only need David Tennant for like 5 of those 10 episodes. Also, him as the Purple Man, amazingly scary.
Oh, absolutely phenomenal.
Horrifying.
Like, as someone who has never really dipped into the world of Doctor Who, that series was everything I needed to know that David Tennant is easily one of the best actors of our time right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Legends of Tomorrow has a time loop episode, which they used as their bottle episode because they kept everything in their inside their ship, so they didn't have to switch locations. It's also a pretty good episode. That's sort of the catch to it. Essentially, because you're cut down, you have to work harder for that. A lot of horror film directors run that gambit, like the really skilled ones. Raimi. I know there was talking about it. It was Sam Raimi, Rob Zombie, and like two other ones. They were having because there's this video you could watch where they were having like a meal together, and they talk about how sometimes having a lower budget is the inspiration. It keeps them from. It makes them have to work harder or figure out new things because they can't just use the money, throw money at the problem for it.
Well, and that's why, like, personally, like, my brain keeps wanting to say The Breakfast Club.
Ooh, yeah,
But,
I'd see
like,
that.
yeah, but, like, I can't remember, because, like, it's been so long since I've seen it, if they ever really leave the library. And I think they do for, like, little vignettes.
They do for vignettes, and they do at the beginning of the movie, at the end of the movie, and then there was a portion in the middle when they try to escape the school.
Yeah, but, like, by and large, everything takes place in that one stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I would count it for that.
Okay.
Because
Empire
they
Records-
utilize everything that's in that one stage.
Yeah, and like it's all character driven. Like the entirety of the movie is just your character relations.
Oh yeah.
Has anyone here seen The Man from Earth?
I've heard of
It's
it.
It's a really stellar movie, but it all takes place in like this one cabin in the woods, and it's this old guy, this university professor. He's leaving the university, and he gets all his friends together, and he tells them this big secret, and the actual secret is that he is a a Neolithic caveman. He is a man who has been wandering the world for the entirety of its like natural history. And so that's how the movie begins is he introduces this concept that he has been around for all of human history.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't do like a clip show. They don't show him going through history. There are just like these professors, these university professors, inquiring about past events and his involvements in them. And so it's just him answering questions academically about whether or not he was in fact there for a specific event, which for the most cases he was. Which if you were a man who lived throughout all of history, there's a significant amount you wouldn't have done, right? Like Leonardo da Vinci, you wouldn't have made best friends with Leonardo da Vinci. He only had like a couple of friends.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that he'd tell you about.
He doesn't name drop. Like
yeah, he's the man of class.
I'm just saying you could have been like anywhere else for the Italian Renaissance and been like, oh no, I skipped the 14th century.
Yeah.
I wasn't hanging out, and I was somewhere else.
I was with the Medici, but they wouldn't tell you about it, so it's fine.
Oh, Supernatural has a really interesting bottle episode. Baby, it's an episode where the entirety of the episode is taking place from the viewpoint of the car.
Mm-hmm.
So most of it's taking place when the car is parked. But yeah, that's kind of a genius camera work and such to make that work, right?
Ashwood, the thing you just brought up does kind of remind me, this is obviously not a movie or a TV show, it's in fact a book, but it does remind me of the novelization, or not the novelization, sorry, the book came first. The novel World War Z, where
love World War Z.
It's so good. The book was incredible, and the movie just sucked so
I refuse to see the movie.
It's so bad. There is the best part about the World War Z movie is that the movie poster, I'm pretty sure, has a cat on it in the like lower left hand corner or lower right hand corner.
Yeah.
That's like the best part. But in the novel, it is an oral history where a reporter or like somebody who chronicler, a historian, is going back and he's asking all of these people who survived this event their stories. And so even though like it is, maybe this is closer to a cutaway, but like they talk about, oh, you know, there was this guy in Japan, spoilers for the book, not in the movie. I don't think this character
Oh yeah, it
exists
never
in the
comes up.
movie.
It's so far this. You can't spoil the movie by reading the book. That's how far back.
That's true.
Oh
That's true.
God.
So he's interviewing this Japanese swordsman. This is modern day. For those of you who don't know, World War Z, it takes place in the modern day. Zombie apocalypse happens, and this man is interviewing survivors. And this guy was a shut-in. He lived with his parents. They delivered all of his meals. He was absolutely like a big old nerd. Didn't really go out and do anything. Was a little bit overweight. And his parents get got. He figures out that the zombie apocalypse is happening only when the internet is cut off and his parents stop delivering him food. Those are the only reasons that he understands that the zombie apocalypse is happening. And he goes through this whole adventure where like he finds a katana in somebody's house from the war and what have you. Like there's a bunch of things that goes on, but he has since become this like martial artist, swordsman. Like he survived Tokyo. And he's being interviewed by this guy. And this is not the only story that they go through. You know, they go through a number of different people, but it all takes place in this one room, and he's just interviewing survivors of the event, which I think is sort of.
It's similar to the concept of a bottle episode, but because it's written in a book, you don't have the restrictions for it. The author gets to choose to have everything set into the book. It's not like a restriction on that. Unless for some reason Max Brooks was told, hey, you can only have so many pages on your book.
You know, maybe. Hey,
that can happen with publisher forwards, yeah.
It's getting a little long. Maybe tone it down a little bit.
But it sounds like all the good parts were bottled out of the movie.
It's so true.
But yeah, outside of a couple of examples, that's kind of all I got for the bottle episode. Bottle episodes are neat on the basis of they push actors and writers to work to really step up their A game. There is a thing I found on like the original on Christopher Reeve when he was first trying out to be Superman back in the 70s, right? They had various actors to do that. Christopher Reeve shows up, and he is like. He hasn't put on any muscle for the role or anything because they're just trying him out. He was so nervous that there is sweat stains in the Superman suit, and everyone has to wear the same suit because as we only have one suit right now. Except what got them hired is like the only thing they had to do was the scene. One of the things that they had to do was the balcony scene in that, which is just. Superman's not fighting anybody. He's not trying to. It's just him talking to Margot Robbie. Is it? No, Margot Robbie. Margot Kidder.
Margot Robbie confirmed in the 50s.
I didn't think she was alive then, but I could be wrong.
Margot Robbie is a treasured actress, and this is one of the things she can do.
You're not supposed to out the vampires on the podcast. We talked about this.
Margot Robbie's a time traveler, confirmed.
Immortals Inc. already got out to us.
True.
But no, it's Margot Kidder who plays Lois Lane to that.
Yeah,
and,
sure it is. Wink.
Yeah, wink. Anyway, but like he looks awful in that. But when he actually performs, he stands up straight. He is projecting. He sounds and reacts like Superman, and you believe him for that. Which is why his suit is used as a test tool for a lot. Warner Brothers keeps it around, and they still use that once in a while as a test tool for who can play Superman. Is that if you can make everyone believe you're Superman while wearing the worst costume we've got, you got kind of in for this. Henry Cavill also wore that suit, and he's like, "This is awful. This is a terrible suit."
Just
but
like Superman hazing.
Mm-hmm. Does anybody else have any bottle episode examples that they can think of?
No, we've gone through all my
like
full
all the
knowledge
good ones.
of bottles.
Well, all the good ones that have ever existed, you have heard about here tonight.
I wouldn't go that far. One of my favorite bottle episodes is in Stargate, the time loop one, where O'Neill and Teal'c are stuck in a time loop, and they have to solve the time loop in order to fix it. But then they decide to take a day off for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, a time loop might fix me. If I could just groundhog my day for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Groundhog my day, wow.
Groundhog my
Yeah,
day.
Look, she groundhogs my day until I Bill Murray. What does it mean? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. But no, like, I think that's a very fun episode, right? You see that a lot of the times in like time travel episodes where eventually Supernatural does one very similar where they go about their day and wakes up and the same thing repeats. But like you said, you know, it's shot very minimally because you're in the same location.
Exactly.
And
if you do it right, it is hilarious.
Yes. I think
actually the Supernatural one is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, that one's real good.
The alarm clock kills me every time.
Man, this thing sucks. There's no Asia.
Spice brought up one to me earlier when we were talking about this that I'd kind of forgotten about, but there's a couple of Power Rangers episodes, which I also never talk about.
That's right. Dane and I are on the same episode, so we got to talk about Power Rangers.
We got to. And you know, shout out to Spice and Rose for being the one to bring this up.
Mm-hmm.
But there's like one where they fight the evil versions of themselves, or there's one that I'd forgotten about where they're like, I think they do like a what do they call it? It's not like a sleepover in public where you like
a lock-in.
Yeah, a lock-in. Thank you. Where they're like locked into the juice bar and gym center, and it's just like, oh no, we can't get out. Like they have to like solve the problem from within this one scene.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, you're like, oh yeah, this is like totally legit. And meanwhile, the producers are like, we're saving so much money. We have one set. We did this in an afternoon. It was great.
It is awesome.
I remember really liking that one too, because like you get to see the juice bar in different lighting.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And, like it completely was it a Halloween one?
There was a Halloween one in the juice bar. I don't know if this is that one.
Basically, any juice bar episode is a great Power Rangers episode.
That's so true. I mean, look, shout out to Ernie.
Yeah, something about that is just wholesome.
Ernie was the goat.
So yeah, I think that's about it for that one. That being said, there's bunches of different bottle episodes that are out there. Not all of them on great quality, but typically a lot of them step up their game to make this work. And with that being said, our next episode is going to be available August 7th. All right. And with that, this is Gaming Theater Podcast logging out. Bye. Everybody.
Bye.
Whee!
Yeah, we'll save the budget for later.
Gaming Theater Podcast is hosted, created, produced, and edited by Leo Garcia, the Geek Scorpio. Our music is A Drinking Game. Stock media provided by Stormwave Audio /Pond5. Our cover art is by Adam Parker. You can find him at ParkerGFX on Twitter. If you want to send us some money to help with these episodes, you can do so at patreon.com/gamingtheaterpresents. Want to send support that doesn't hit your wallet? Please leave a review with wherever you hear your podcasts and share our podcast with your friends. It really helps out. Thank you for listening.